Hello and welcome to our Pokemon Y Status Moves Only Challenge. Today we're following the journey of I Farted, who wants to win his battles without using any attacking moves whatsoever. As you can see, we're no match for Shauna since we don't have any way to take out her Froakie or to heal our Chespin. We lose the battle but move on to an even greater challenge. This kid Austin and his one Zigzagoon are mandatory to progress to the next route. Unfortunately for us, we still don't have any moves that can defeat it. Thankfully, we can catch a Pidgey who learned Sand Attack after leveling up with catching experience. Destroying Zigzagoon's accuracy is vital to our survival, as we have to stall it out until it can use up all of its 110 PP, so it can use Struggle and we can get the win. We used a strategy to make it through the forest and over to Viola's Bug Gym, where our now Butterfree sets up Poison Powder on Surskit. We lower its attack with Chespin's Growl, then we try to lower its accuracy with Pidgey. Viola's Ace Pavilion is out and dangerous, so we sacrifice Pidgey to Sand Attack it as much as possible before laying down our Poison Point. Now we just play the waiting game while switching teammates to spread out the XP and try not to lose anyone to its trapping move. We get the kill and our first badge. Today, Professor Sycamore faces us with the ghosts of Kanto Past. Due to Bulbasaur's typing, we have to trick it into activating Fletchender's Flame Body. Then we slowly bite out time until it drops. Next, Sycamore sends out my favorite, Charmander. We establish Leech Seed with Codillion and switch in Butterfree to use Poison Powder. We watch the cute fire lizard go down and outlast is Squirtle. We repeat our Leech Seed Poison Powder combo on the wet turtle and wait till it goes down and we can get the win over the professor. Next, we battle our pseudo-rival, Tierno, who thankfully only has a single Corphish. Once we establish Leech Seed and Poison Powder, it's only a matter of time until Corphish faints, and we earn ourselves an easy win. Today, we start with a double battle against Trevor and Tierno, and we lay down Leech Seeds while we can let Serena do some actual damage. We're able to switch teammates around to maximize XP and get an easy win. Next up is Grant's Rock Gym, and we start with Dwebble's Stealth Rock before using Soap to turn Amora into a water type. This helps Roselia survive long enough to put 2 layers of toxic spikes down, so when Butterfree whirlwinds Tyrunt out, he's badly poisoned. Skidoo drops a Leech Seed and all that's left is Amora. We stall out the poison, get the win, and our second gym badge. Last up is a preliminary battle with Karina and her double Lucario. First, Golduck uses Soak to turn Lucario into a water type. Then we apply Leech Seed for damage and healing, and last, Butterfree can use Poison Powder since Lucario is no longer a steel type. When the first Lucario faints, we repeat the process with patience until we get the win. Today we have a rival fight with Serena, and it's time we dusted off our old strat. Carbink sets Stealth Rock, and we switch to Roselia to set Toxic Spikes. Then our Sigilith uses Whirlwind to force each of her Pokemon to switch and take entry damage while we stay healthy with Roost. The damage eventually stacks up enough and her team goes down, giving us the win. Now it's time for Karina's Fighting Gym, and Carbink sets up Stealth Rock and then drops Mind Fuse accuracy so Roselia can hit it with Leech Seed and Toxic and then safely set up Toxic Spikes. Machoke is out next and is badly poisoned on entry, and we establish Leech Seed. Then we take away its stab power with Soak to stall out the kill. Her ace Hawlucha is up last, and Roselia hangs on long enough to land Leech Seed and Toxic. Karina heals, but we stall out with Carbink to get the win in our third badge. Finally, Karina forces us into a Lucario mirror match, and we use Swords Dance till it knocks us out and we move on. Today we have another rival fight with Serena, who wants to see Mega Evolution, but instead she's getting our Stealth Rock, Toxic Spikes, Leech Seed combo, which is more than enough for Meowstic and Braixen. But we've got a new surprise for Absol, which is Lapras with Perish Song, which secures an easy win. Now we move on to Ramos's Grass Gym, and Roselia lands Toxic to help speed up Jumpluff's fainting, that is until Ramos heals him. The Puffball goes down and we move on to Go-Go and again land Toxic, which is our best strat here. Ramos sends out his ace Weeping Bell, and we play the Perish Song for the bell, getting the win in our 4th gym badge. Finally, we face Team Flair's Aliana, But unfortunately for her, she only has one Mightyena, so that means Perish Song is a guaranteed win for us. Today we're up against Clement's Electric Gym, who volt switches into Magnetons, so we seed install with Shedinja, only for Clement to swap again for Emolga. Poison Point triggers before we can go for Toxic, so we're stuck waiting for the feint with Leech Seed and hoping it doesn't volt switch again. The rest of his team is easy to stall out as they can't hit Shedinja, and we Perish Song Heliolisk for the win in our 5th badge. Now we face rival Serena's team, and we revert to our older strat of Leech Seed, Toxic, and Toxic Spikes to deal with Meowstic and Delphox, and we send Lapras into Parasong Absol for an easy win. Last, we challenge Valerie's Fairy Gym, where Carbink sets up Stealth Rock, and then we drop Malwal's accuracy with Flash. Next, we send out Roselia to use Leech Seed, and we waste moves while waiting out the damage and healing with our own Black Sludge healing. Mr. Mime is badly poisoned on entry, and after setting Leech Seed, we stall with Shedinja's Wonder Guard. Outlast is Sylveon, and we repeat the same process for the win in our 6th badge. Today we have a Team Flare double battle with Celosia and Bryony, and Lapras kills everyone with Perish Song for an easy win. Next is an easy 1-on-6 with Flare's Mabel, which is a quick Toxic Leech Seed combo, but in retrospect I could have just been quicker with Perish Song. Serena is up next, and I spend Meowstic's limited Leech Seed time setting up our entry hazards to finish the rest of her team. Sigilith whirlwinds Jolteon and Delphox out repeatedly until the Spikes and Stealth Rock take them both down. Lapras is out last to once again Parasong Absol for an easy win. Last up is Olympia's Psychic Gym, and Roselia removes Sigilith's Magic Guard with Worry Seed, allowing for both Leech Seed and Toxic. Meowstic is up next, and Toxic takes it out while we set up hazards for Slowking, but again I must have been tired because I completely forgot I could have just used Parasong at that point. Either way, we have our 9th gym badge. Today we face off against the head of Team Flare, Lysander, and we take advantage of Phantom's ghost typing to use Mindfu's high jump kick against itself. Toxic and Leech Seed take down Pyroar, which brings out Gyarados. His Earthquake is risky, so we take the time to slowly drop his accuracy with Flash before landing Leech Seed. We decide to not take the risk of going for Toxic and instead wait out the feint. Finally, Murkrow is out, and we use Perish Song to wrap things up. Then Lysander forces us to fight Xerosic, and he sends out Crobat. We drop its accuracy with Flash so Phantom can safely land Leech Seed and Will-O-Wisp. The attack drop with the burn helps us survive. Malamar is last, and Perish Song gets the job done. Lysander is back again with a stronger team, but thankfully 2 high jump kick misses take out Mineshaw. We Leech Seed Pyroar, but it's not safe enough to set up Toxic, so we switch around for survival. We sacrifice Roselia to set up Leech Seed and easily wait out the feint. Last out is Gyarados, and knock knock, who's there? Perish Song for another win. Today we're back with one final Lysander battle. Like the last time, we use Phantom switching to cause high jump kick to damage Mineshaw. Once again, Pyroar's damage is a huge risk for our team, so carefully swapping and accuracy drops are necessary in order to set Leech Seed and stall the feint. This time, Honchkrow is dealing major damage too, so we have to carefully maneuver the team around while we wait for Leech Seed to do its job. Mega Gyarados is out last, but Perish Song puts a quick end to it and we get the win. Professor Sycamore is back to test us with the fully evolved Kanto Trio, and Phantom curses and burns Venusaur, then Roselia Toxic Leech Seeds Blastoise, and finally Lapras Perish Song's Charizard for the win. Shauna challenges us too, and Delcatty goes down to Leech Seed and Iron Barbs, Goodra gets Toxic, and I mistakenly boost its attack with Sap Sipper. Finally, Lapras Perish Song's Greninja for the win. Tierno is next, and Ferrothorn sets up Leech Seed and Hazards, and Sigilith starts whirlwinding to take them out. We then use Perish Song to force him to switch while also forcing some confusion damage on him. Phantom lands Curse on Roserade, which gets us the win. Today we're back to finish the pseudo-rival gauntlet with Trevor. Ferrothorn sets up Stealth Rock and 3 layers of spikes, and Roselia sets Toxic Spikes before Raichu goes down. We then Whirlwind, Aerodactyl, and Florges until they go down and we get the win. Now it's time for Wulfric's Ice Gym, and I immediately forgot Obama Snow as a Grass type before landing Toxic. We switch to Ferrothorn to set our entry hazards before taking a risk with Lapras. Wolfric heals Abomasnow, but Toxic gets it done. Roselia fails to land a Toxic before fainting, so we send in Trevenant to curse Cryogonal. Finally, Avalugg is out, and you can watch me forget about Parasong for a few turns before finally using it for the win. Last up is our final Serena fight, and Roselia and Ferrothorn get our setup established, and then we pivot to our new secret weapon, Shuckle. Shuckle helps Meowstic faint, and now we play the Whirlwind game. While Sigilith isn't able to take too many hits, our new Skarmory is. Whirlwind takes down Delphox and Absol and nearly all of Jolteon before we need to switch in Shuckle. Altaria is last, and one Leech Seed gets us the win. Today we kick off the Elite Four with Malva, so we make sure to set up Stealth Rock before Shuckle hits Pyroar with Toxic. Skarmory comes in to set up 3 layers of spikes before we swap to Roselia for Toxic spikes. We Toxic Pyroar again before bringing Skarmory back to Whirlwind. We force Malva to play musical chairs while using Roost to stay healthy. I do misjudge the healing and Chandelure takes us out. However, Sigilith is fresh enough for one more Whirlwind, which drops Torkoal and KOs Chandelure on the switch-in, getting us the win. Now we're facing Cybold's Water team, and we Leech Seed Clawitzer and drop Stealth Rock before switching in Roselia for Toxic Spikes. Shuckle lands Toxic before we swap in Skarmory, and this time we can fully set up Spikes and Double Team before beginning the Whirlwind Shuffle. By the time the bulk of his team drops, we're left with just Gyarados, and we let Shuckle hit with Toxic to take him down, although Parasong would have also worked. Either way, we get the win. Today we're back for Elite Four Drasna, and we set up Leech Seed and Stealth Rock. Then Roselia sets Toxic Spikes. We use Shuckle's Power Split to weaken Dragalge's attacks, which lets Skarmory safely set up Spikes and Double Team. When Noivern comes out, we begin the Whirlwind Shuffle, and our entry hazards take care of the rest of her team, giving us an easy win. Last up is Wickstrom's Steel Team, and we start by weakening Klefki with Power Split. Next we set up Stealth Rock and Spikes before switching in Skarmory to ready Double Team. These setups are delayed by Klefki's Torment, but we eventually Whirlwind it and Aegislash. For Probopass I decide to switch in Shuckle to get rid of Skarmory's Torment, and then we swap back and Whirlwind Shuffle takes care of Probopass and Scizor. Ferrothorn Leech Seeds Aegislash and gets us the win. Today we're facing Champion Diantha, who leads with Hawlucha, and we Leech Seed and begin setting Stealth Rock and Spikes. Roserade sets up Toxic Spikes, and then we swap in Shuckle for Toxic. We start setting up Double Team with Skarmory, while Aurorus drops to our Toxic Spikes. We begin the Whirlwind Shuffle, making her play musical chairs with her team, including Mega Gardevoir, who gets a full restore before we drop Pumpkin Boo, Tyrantrum, and Goodra. All that's left is Mega Gardevoir, so we Leech Seed and Ingrain with Ferrothorn and wait out the unexpected final full restore before we get the win, the championship, and the challenge. But before we can celebrate our victory, Sasquatch shows up and challenges us to a battle. Shuckle weakens Torkoal with Power Split before landing Toxic. Then we swap to Skarmory to Whirlwind, hoping for Sigilith. Magic Guard prevents status or weather damage, so we have to use Roserade's Worry Seed to remove it before we can use Leech Seed and Toxic to take it down. Skarmory returns for Whirlwind, but Golurk keeps playing Peekaboo with us on the turn we need him around for, but we eventually get it and Torkoal is down. Roserade finishes Golurk with Toxic, and we get the win and the end credits.